My honor to get to stand here today with a class of graduates who have been absolutely influential to the culture of UME Prep. I got to teach many of you for 2 years in junior high. So not only is this a sweet moment for me as your former teacher, but I'm thrilled to get to take the stage after my baby cousin, William Horton, your valedictorian. I'm super proud of you, William and Caitlin, for the excellent example that you guys have set. And I won't mention how many times Caitlin is the one who says hi to me when my own family just walks on past in the hallways. Yeah, too late, William, we're at graduation. Okay. No, I love you. I'm so proud of all of you. But really, and even as an English teacher and as a teenage fiction author, I love how both of you touched on the importance of stories in your speech. Not just the ones that you have from your time here at UME, but the ones that you're writing even now. And speaking of stories, I got some stories of the class of 2020 back in junior high. I'll never forget their first day in my English language arts class. There they were, these bright-eyed, beautiful, innocent preteens. And there I was, this very pregnant teacher who waddled around on kinkles and panted for breath all day. And since it was my first full-term pregnancy, and I had no idea what to expect from labor and delivery, I felt it was necessary to prepare them for worst-case scenario. So once we introduced ourselves first day, we put into place the If Mrs. Dallas's Water Breaks action plan. Do you guys remember this, those of you that were there? Woo. It went something like, in the event that Miss Dallas's water breaks during class, you over there by the phone, call Dr. Barker in the admin office, and you back there by the door, run for paper towels, start mopping. And you, lucky one sitting right here closest to me, you dive down and catch that baby. Talk about getting a reaction out of the class. And then to make things even more traumatic, someone raised their hand after that to ask what everyone else should do. And my mature response was, the rest of you feel free to pee your pants, so I am not the only one looking ridiculous. You know, y'all laugh, but there were a few that day that were like, cool, I got that. Wet pants at your service, Miss Dallas. You know who you are. Is this revealing too much about how I run my classroom, Miss Smith? Okay. They're never gonna have a junior high teacher speak at graduation again. Every year, my students read a popular short story called 7th Grade by Gary Soto. And even if you didn't attend UME in junior high, you might have read it elsewhere. It's a funny story about a 7th grade boy who takes French class to impress a girl. In the process of acting like he actually knows how to speak French, which he doesn't, he ends up embarrassing himself in front of the teacher, the whole class, and of course, the girl. I've gotten a lot of hilarious feedback with this story over the years, but your class forever stands out in my memory as giving the most unique response. Before I had everyone start drawing out and labeling plot maps that year, I remember reviewing our lit terms first, so it was like, okay, who is the protagonist of the story? And everyone was like, Victor. And then I asked the harder question, which was, who is the antagonist of the story? The one with whom the main character is in conflict. One of you boys called out, hormones. Not totally wrong, but not the answer I was looking for. Do you guys remember who that was? Because I don't want to falsely accuse anybody, but Clayton Augsburger, your face kind of comes to mind every time was it you? Are you fessing up? He's like, it probably was me. I have to thank you guys because you have certainly given me lots of teenage drama writing inspiration over the years. In fact, one of the reasons that I love teaching junior high is because I love being there at the start of the teen years when everything feels insecure and uncertain. I like getting to help bridge that maturity changeover and then step back and see what my students do with their talents in high school. You have not disappointed. There is a genuine camaraderie among you, combined with some powerful leadership in this class that makes you stand out among all the others. I know that I didn't get the privilege of teaching all of you, but I've heard enough stories and I've witnessed enough to know that you guys have infiltrated the culture of our school and made it a better, stronger place. You were the class who started Lighthouse Worship on Wednesdays, a weekly event for students and teachers to come together to worship, to speak truth and grace over each other, and to pray for our school and our world. Your actions, your prayers, have spread into the fabric of the UME community in ways we might not ever totally understand. And you haven't just affected the spiritual aspect, guys, but academic and social dynamics as well. I've seen you tutor struggling students younger than you. I've worked late many days this year and been surprised to find you still there working on robotics or helping out teachers and coaches. Many of you athletes and cheerleaders, musicians and actors devoted hours every week to strengthening your skills. You were also the class who started the Sadie Hawkins dance at UME, which according to many of your senior testimonies was a favorite memory. You have helped make UME the strong community that it is. You helped define it with your investment, and your excellence is contagious. And in recent days, we've heard more than we probably ever wanted to hear of the words contagious, pandemic, quarantine, shelter in place, community spread, all words that up until a few months ago I had hardly used in my lifetime. A microscopic enemy somehow launched an attack at our world, and even more so assaulted our sense of community by stealing precious traditions and rites of passage. And yet, even though your high school career ended in ways that none of us ever dreamed, it has been remarkable to step back and watch you fight to keep your community spirit alive. I've seen you parade by each other's homes in celebration. Many of you got dressed up anyway and put on your own prom or took pictures and allowed yourself that moment to sparkle. You've learned the value of intentional communication, not just with each other, but with your families, your teachers, your churches. You've had to find new ways to connect and learn. You are initiative takers and overcomers. A lot of guest speakers stand up here on graduation day with the intent of encouraging the graduates on to greatness and commissioning them to be leaders and world changers. But not me, and not today. I stand before you looking at a group of young men and women who already are leaders, who are changing the world. Young people who aren't just surviving, but who are choosing to find joy and meaning in life no matter their circumstances, with gratefulness, like Caitlin said, and with faith and hope for a new story, like William said. Belonging to a community such as the one you've had here at UME, it's about doing life with people. It's about borrowing strength from others, lending courage when it's needed, and considering the good of the whole and not just the self. A good community in its proper place should be your support system and a place of reciprocal influence. It's a contagious relationship with a group of people. We've seen the effects of one stubborn virus on a world. But imagine the chain of infection that could occur if selflessness and kindness and thankfulness were to catch on like a virus. What if every person felt respected the way they were created to be? Because yes, you and every person you meet out there has value and was created in God's image, no questions asked. Imagine if every one of you took the amazing, praiseworthy, God-given talents and qualities that you possess and continued to spread it around for the good of others. That's the kind of contagious community our world needs. You started it here, and it needs to ripple out from this place. Your community after high school will change if it hasn't already. It will be your choice, and your choice alone, who you influence and who you will allow to influence you. And regardless of where life takes you from this moment forward, your teachers talked it over. And it is our hope, that your community will always include people who spread confidence like Amalia, encourage others like Tristan, dance like Isabel Goez, people who are witty like Clayton, have a servant heart like Caitlin, shine brightly like Kayla, are a loyal teammate like Darlene, intuitive like Elvis, love people like Ethan, are selfless like Solomon Chappelle, motivated like Andy, sing Wrecking Ball like Levy. Why is that not on the program? People who are courageous like Max, caring like Damon, sweet like Isabel Davis, people who persevere like Sarah Diaz, stay strong like Kevin Fernandez, shoot straight like Kenji, command the court like Cece, display quiet confidence like Cynthia, those who are creative as Brittany, compassionate like Rachel, serve others like Aubrey, show integrity like William, are as imaginative as Brian, as adaptable as Joshua, kind and honest like Zach, defend like Ben, people who are reliable like Laura, work hard like Dylan, clutch like Grant, care for the vulnerable like Emma, laugh like David, organize like Sophia Luna, sing like Victoria, people who are agreeable like Genesis, ask thoughtful questions like Joanna, are dependable like Jansen, friendly like Gerardo, people who coach like Solomon Muñiz, show true loyalty like Sarah Norman, ham it up like Jocelyn, lead like Sydney, spread joy like Lauren, faithful like Hannah, own the stage like Macy, are calm like Cambry, dignified like Eduardo, peaceful like Carolina, challenge you to excel like Jada, make you feel comfortable like Sophia Silva, people who are a fierce competitor like Garen, have a big heart like Mike, with an artist's eye like Brooke, and deep thinking like Kevin Walker. Now go be contagiously you and infect our world community with your goodness and your selflessness and your kindness. I love you.